beat dissing arcade lights. Pac-Man, Frogger, we're playing all night. Simpsons in the background, neon in the air. 80s vibes, man, we didn't care. VHS tapes staying up too late. Saturday cartoons, can't wait to escape. Dial-ups humming, we're hacking the code. Back when everything was in upload mode. Atari, Commodore, pixels on screen. Living in the future was more than a dream. It's time to kick it old school. Turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool. We're taking it back, that's how we roll, we roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades to TV shows that ruled. You know we're kicking it old school. MTV playing our favorite jams. Moonwalking with MJ, Neon Slam. Ghostbusters gear, we're ready to go. Chasing slasher scenes, fears in tow. Back to the future, hop in the DeLorean. Knight Rider cruising, man, there's no ignoring them. Battlestar Galactica, what a ride. Looney Tunes, antics, pure joy inside. Blockbusters ruled, we lined up for days. Video games booted up in the pixelated maze. Movie marathons and popcorn nights. We ruled the screen, living in the lights. It's time to kick it old school. Turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool. We're taking it back, that's how we roll, we roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades to TV shows that ruled. You know we're kicking it old school. Grab your joystick, the game's about to start. A high-score world, now that's an art. We're cruising on hoverboards, living our dream. Old school forever, we're igniting the scene. It's time to kick it old school. Turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool. We're taking it back, that's how we roll, we roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades to TV shows that ruled. You know we're kicking it old school.
To the future of play, the classics will always have a guardian. I'm GRS, champion and protector of the classics. Game on!
Game.
There we go. See, I'm not AI. I'm really here, fellas. Well, welcome once again to Kickin' Old Skool. We'll get to the chat in a second. Before we even get to the chat, though, there's a lot of things we need to talk about tonight. One big one for I think a lot of us here in the chat is the unfortunate. It's really not unfortunate because hell is in for a hell of a problem down there. Chuck Norris. I'm not really sure if he passed away or if he wanted to go. We're going to get to some of these memes that came up here, but in all seriousness, though, Chuck Norris. He's a great guy. He was one of the guys. You don't mess with Chuck Norris. But I want to show a couple of these memes that come up here, and he was 86. Now William Shatner I think is like 92. So maybe Bruce Lee called him back home for a little fight up there. But let's take a look at some of these memes here. So this is one I said actually to Michael B today. We'll get to that one in a second, but it was this one. So I was telling Michael B, he didn't go he didn't die. He won a fight with like Death, and Death gave him his throne. Michael B was like, they're gonna stop doing Chuck Norris jokes. I don't think so. I think they're gonna keep going. Here's another one. Chuck Norris, Doom, take on everyone down in hell. Um, I really liked this one over here. Rest in peace, Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris passed away just so he could punch Satan in the face. And that would be a total thing Chuck Norris would do. But I think it really comes down to this one out of everything. Heaven just upgraded security. Rest in peace. Chuck Norris, a great guy, from what I understand. I never actually met him myself. But I definitely enjoyed his movies that were there. Some of them were pretty corny. I'm not going to lie. Some of the Chuck Norris films were pretty corny, but definitely a good guy and definitely a man's man that will be missed for a long time to go. I heard Chuck Norris died 10 years ago, but Death was too afraid to tell him until now. I love it. So, rest in peace, Chuck. A lot of good times and still many good times to come. Memes are not going to stop. They are going to continue for many, many years to come. I am sure of that. But let's get into the chat, and we'll get it started on the show today. A lot of different things I want to touch base on. And let me bring this camera down a smidgen, man. I'm not this short. There we go. That's a little too much. There we go. Remember, this is the ghetto show. That's what the G stands for. But let's go to the chat, and we'll get into the show here. So we do have Keno Brown. My PC. Oh yeah. So literally yesterday, I was going to do a gaming video, and my PC has been acting a little weird as of late. And it would freeze up when I was actually on with the lecture show. My video froze for a long time, and I thought it was a little strange, and it got better. But then yesterday, I turned my computer on, and it just went bam. It went down. I'm like, oh shit! I got all these cameras. I got the whole show in there. So that happened like around 6:30 yesterday. I worked down until just about 11 o'clock, and got everything back up and running. So here we are, and the machine is actually cleaner now. So it's back to the way it was when I put the operating system on this. So it's about a year ago. So hopefully it'll be better now over here. And of course, rest in peace, Chuck Norris. We also have JJ here. So he doesn't understand the thumbnail. I don't blame you on that one. So where's my thumbnail here? I'm gonna pull up over here. So I don't. It was a little ambiguous. Well, the one on the left side makes sense because my computer crapped out. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do a show tonight. Fortunately, I was able to get the show going. But as far as me and the straitjacket over there, I want to get into that because sometimes Glenn gets out of control. See, I don't have a co-host. I don't know if Steven, I don't know if Glenn, even like Bill's Retro Gaming Show. None of those guys are in there to get Glenn on the hook and reel me in. Get Glenn on the hook and reel him in. And sometimes I go on tirades, and I want to get into that a little bit later in the show. So we'll get into that. You get this off screen. Goodbye and goodbye. See what else we got here tonight? Of course, we got Hobby Hands here. I know your PC. I know why your PC died. You probably tried to bypass the AIDS verification law, and the government shut you down. Hope you get back in time, and I did. And it really sucks because there was a time where I absolutely loved working on the computer and tweaking it, doing all these cool things to it. But I'm done with that now. I'm actually moving away from Windows. This probably would have been a better time if the show wasn't the next day to fully embrace Linux. I'm like done with Windows. I'm tired of all the ads. I'm tired of all the pop-ups. I'm tired of all the join the cloud, do the backup. I'm done. So I'm going to move over to Linux. All the software I have that I use is in Linux, and my gaming is done on either on Raspberry Pi nowadays, or Batacera, or Arcade. So I really don't need a PC or Windows for anything. And if I do need something old, I'll make a VM, Windows 7 or XP when Windows was still good. But I'm definitely not going to 12, and 11 is going to be going the way of the dodo. Coach, we have Chris Williams here. Happy Friday. He's still working on Heavy Metal Titans. And I promise, I have some video of some people we wanted to add. I promise I'll try and get to it this weekend. It's just been a bad week, actually a bad 2 weeks. Overall, I mean, I'm still here. My friends are still here, so that's all good. But I'll get into all that later. It was a very stressful time, I think, the past 2 weeks for me. And of course, we have our resident moderator here. Glad that Jason is back here. A little alien. Happy Friday. Hope everyone had a great weekend planned. I think tomorrow's supposed to be halfway decent. It's raining again here today. But it hit, actually, I think 50 degrees here in New York. So it felt kind of warm. I actually almost had to take off my jacket. Almost. Not quite. Nino Brown, the classes are primed and ready. They definitely are. They definitely are. Bill's Retro Gaming Show. I don't have an Apple IIe. I don't have an Apple IIe. I have an original Apple II. Before the Plus, before anything, original Apple II. I do have a couple of Macintoshes, Power Macs, but I actually don't have an E yet. Who knows what people donate? Meatball Saucy. As long as we have the Oregon Trail as part of the stream, I would be happy. You know, I actually really never actually played the Oregon Trail, but actually I do have the basic fun handheld Oregon Trail. Of course, I have an Apple. It's not working yet. But news on the Apple is I did give up on trying to get it fixed because I don't want to damage it any more than I probably have. So I'm going to be sending that off in the next couple of days to someone who's really good and is going to restore a machine that's under 10,000. I think it's 9,460, if I'm not right. Under 10,000 Apple One Model 1 board. So I'm really looking forward to that. Cal-L64, hello everyone. Got a smiling face going on. Rotundo is here. Happy Friday. We also have Intellivision Gamer. Welcome, my friend. I'm glad you're here. I'm actually getting itch to start playing Intellivision again. And I bought a flash card. I have a couple of Intellivisions. I got the IntelliVoice. I have the crappy Intellivision computer module because I was an idiot when I was 12 or 13 when I sold the original Intellivision keyboard with the cassette drive. But I'm getting the itch for the Intellivision again. I don't have the Sprint yet. When it goes on sale, I'll probably pick one of those up, but I don't have one of those just yet. Jim, the Pacers fan, happy Friday. Thank God it is Friday. And it was payday, which is also a good thing. Although, one of the reasons I was probably in a crabby mood was did the taxes. Like I do my taxes, and I got this back. Absolutely nothing back. I didn't pay at all, so at least I didn't pay, but I got absolutely nothing back. So I wasn't really happy with that because I usually take my taxes to pay other taxes. So wasn't really happy about that. J-Rod is here. Happy and good. Well, hello and good evening, everyone. Happy Friday. Who else we got coming down? I'm going down the list. We have Jackson Wallace 6211. Sup, chat? Glad you're here. Glad you made it. Who else we got down here? Keep going down. I'm not sure if I got Tim York, but Tim York is here. Good evening, everyone, and Glenn. Who else we got here tonight? John Fritz. I'm not sure if I got you. 1164. Good evening, everyone. Glad you're here, and happy Friday to you as well. Going through that list. Saved by Zero. Happy FU Friday. We're going to get into the FU as well because it's going to go in probably towards the second half of the show because sometimes Glenn gets out of control. I mean, Glenn goes on tirades. That's why you guys are here when Glenn goes on a tirade. And since there's no one here to get Glenn back on track, sometimes I go a little too far off, but I want to talk about that a little later on in the show. We have John J. 620 here. Go, go, go. And the show is go. We're working. Yeah. Again, this computer literally got brought back online. I had to get everything ready. And of course, when you know the mics are wrong, you know I'm really here and it's not AI or a clone. So you'll always know it's me here. Of course, everyone's telling me the mic. Yeah, I know. I thank you guys for that. We have PBJ Racing. 8 p.m. caught me by surprise. Wow, the day got by you. That's all right. That's okay. We're here now and ready to enjoy the weekend. See, definitely not AI. Thank you very much for noticing. I appreciate that. Fred Burner 89. I'm excited to be here, and I'm glad you're here as well. I always appreciate you guys coming every Friday. Of course, Bill, we do all wish Chuck the best. We know he's around. Chuck hasn't gone anywhere. He's fighting the demons for us. He's making sure that we are safe. Our souls are all safe. Walker Texas Ranger was the best. Good show. A little corny. That's the thing. They were corny, but they were still enjoyable. I think we're getting to everyone here. That got Meatball Saucy before. I'm not sure if I got Sean Longran. Evening, fellas. Make sure I got you in there. We have Mitchie B. Hello, everyone. Glad to see you here as well. Going down. That's what she said. Going down. I'm going down.
That's what she said. That's what
she did say that. Da. Cal-L. 64. You probably forgot to agree to the latest Windows and use a license agreement. That's why I'm dumping Windows. I am done. I got to get rid of it. There's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. I've been using Linux on and off for like 20 years. But I think it's time I just bite the bullet and just say goodbye to Windows. All the stuff I use is on it anyway, and anything else that's not, I'll put in a VM. But you're probably right. It probably is why. We have Ringer Steve 27. Hi, Jason and Mr. Bill. Oh, Mr. Bill. Oh no. Ringer Steve 27. Happy Friday, Glenn. Happy Friday to you as well. God, we have a lot of people here going still through. My goodness. Pliskin's Run. You can't have Friday. You cannot start Kicking Old School. Pliskin's Run here. I'm glad you made it, my friend. P. Kirby, the Chicago arcade gaming guy. I'm really glad you're here because you're one of the reasons I'm going to be talking about some things a little bit later, and I appreciate your honesty and candor, and we'll get into that. So I'm really happy you're here tonight, my friend. Thank you for coming and stopping by again. Friday. Going down. Video Game Vegas, another one. Glenn can never go too far with his options. I can't. I really can't. Hobby Hand, you give a super chat, not necessary. Norris didn't die. God retired. Oh, I like that one. Norris didn't die. God retired, and Norris stepped up. That gets a super blue in that one. That was really good, Hobby Hands. I like that. That one was really good. That one hope takes off. That did good. Oh, Mike Hawk Hurts. Check in a while he's traveling. Well, I'm glad you were able to stop by for a few minutes. And I think we're good with the chat. So I want to talk about a couple of things here. One was, this is actually, I got a package. It's a fragile package, as you can see. Now, this was supposed to come before Christmas, and apparently got lost by Cliff Clavin in the Stormville post office. This was sent by Mark, and he knew that I was out in Cleveland, and saw the original house that was used for A Christmas Story. So he actually sent this to me, and I got lost in the mail. He sent this probably had to be November, but it actually, when did it say? It was December 3rd. So he shipped this on December 3rd. It didn't get it to like mid-February. So inside this package here, and I totally forgotten all about it because it was like so long. And let's see what we got in here. So I do like A Christmas Story, and I guess he knew Jill, I guess Young, who was actually in the show. This is her. That was her character in A Christmas Story. So that's her right there. And she wrote there, to Glenn, I understand Mark is a fan and you are a fan. Merry Christmas and F you. So she gets it. F you is not a bad thing. F you is a good thing. It is a marketing ploy, which again, we're going to cover a little bit later on the show. But Mark, again, thank you for this. It's really cool. I got to get it framed. I'm going to get that put up. We'll put it somewhere. If I haven't get my walls fixed, we'll get it up here at some point. Another thing I wanted to talk about is, the GRS yoke extension kit. Now, people have been getting them in the mail. I'm not sure if people have started using them yet. I even sent one to the Buy Stuff store to see if they can start using it with their stuff. But when you get the kit here, basically you're going to get a little interface module, which is this guy right here, which just takes the yoke controls and our Bluetooth technology. And you get your Hall Effect joystick with buttons and a Hall Effect throttle and buttons to put on your flight yoke. I think I just wanted to talk about all that stuff over there. I'm pretty sure. I think that was everything. Oh, and we are still working on. We're still working on this. My team sent me a video. I'm not ready to show you guys that video just yet. But we are still making progress on the 720 stick. So this will probably be the next thing that does make it to market before Paperboy, because Paperboy is a much more involved item. But this is something we're still working on, and we will get this out at some point for sure. What else, Glenn? What else do we want to talk about here? I have some people. We have Jay joining the chat. It's a joke from A Christmas Story. Exactly. And I'm glad it arrived here finally. We have Etharp 1980. Happy Friday, all. Which games use 720 joystick? Honestly, as far as I know, 720. So that's the thing I'm talking about too. A lot of these joysticks are not going to sell a lot, so it's a lot of money and R&D on our side. But the only game I know that uses this stick is 720. But if you really like 720, you need this to really enjoy the game. So that's what I try and focus on, is to make sure you have these games that you can play these the right way. But again, we're going to make it using Hall effect technology. We're going to try and make the feel as close to this as we can, but at a really good price point, because again, there's really only one game that I'm aware of, 720, that uses this particular stick. So we can't put a ton into it, but we do want it to at least make it right when it does come out. What else we got going over here? There's so many things I want to talk about. So I said last time I want to start showing off people's projects and other, not influencers, but people making stuff for the retro community and stuff. So I want to show a couple things over here. Boop, boop, boop. You guys are, again, in our group, you've probably seen this already. However, I am going to, oh, what happened? It went away? No, why'd you do that? Well, thanks a lot, man. The window closed. Okay, I'll show this next time because it's not here anymore. Facebook, you suck. All right. So obviously I got to take screenshots next time because everything I had saved in Facebook here. Oh, well, one is here. Okay, I'll go show the one. So let's bring this up over here. Bloop. So if you have a TI-994A or a ColecoVision or a ColecoVision Atom or even MSX computer, anything that uses a TMS 990 VDP processor, you probably had either RF out or, if you got lucky, composite out of it. But this Pico 9918 is an HDMI and VGA dongle. And this is a cool thing for anyone that uses that. If you have a ColecoVision or an Atom or a TI and you want to get it on a regular HDMI television, modern TV, that's what this is here. So Troy is basically making these different type of modules. This one I think is for the Atom, so you don't have to cut the case. But I'm going to see if I get him on the show at one point to really talk about this, because I think this is pretty neat and something you could add to your classic machine. So here it is, a cutout for the Atom's AV port. So it doesn't eat that up, but you're going to get audio out, expanded video out, and HDMI on the side there. So it also supports VGA out, the Pico 99. So this is pretty neat. And I'll see if I get him on my show at one point. I do have guests lined up. I don't want to have them on, and thank God they weren't set for today, because I wasn't sure if the show was going to work today. But in the coming weeks, I'm going to have a lot of guests coming on the show. One show might actually be on Saturday because they're in Great Britain, and I'm trying to be, good for his time on there. So let's get this off screen. Boom. All the other ones had disappeared because Facebook sucks. So can't show them, unfortunately. What's this right here? Oop. Glenda, are you going to offer a Golden Tee 3-inch trackball? Yes. The 3-inch trackball that we use in the Golden Tee deck will be available soon. We just want to wait a little bit to give traction to that product before we start releasing it. But we definitely will release it for sure. That's cool, but oh no, I traded my 1094A for some cash. Well, see, at least you can get a TI-99 for like 30 to 40, maybe $50. You can't even touch an Intellivision original keyboard with that cassette player in there. But there was a fair trade. That was a fair trade. I sold my original Heavy Sixer, my Sears Heavy Sixer Atari, and all my games to buy my TI. So I get that. That's right, Bill, and I'll help you with that. We'll make sure that's done right, and we'll take care of you on that one. We'll get your ColecoVision all moderned up. So since those Facebook things aren't here, let's go over to this. I'm going to show now. One of the things that I always say, and I believe wholeheartedly in, is that everyone has a right to their opinion. Everyone. But that also includes myself. But sometimes my opinion can go off the rails, and I admit that. I totally admit that. And I also admit that a lot of times I try and let things go, and some things reinvent back in. I don't let things go. Now, one of the things that kind of happened even with my own son, Cole, he was on, it was last week. He was 12 minutes late, and I was triggered, I suppose, and I wasn't very nice to him on the show. Now, of course, I talked to him afterwards. He's fine. I apologized with him. But I'm doing an official apology to my son on this show that when Cole was on, it wasn't a big deal. It was 12 minutes late. I guess for me, I was excited to have him on the show. I was excited to talk about the Strangest Things play in the city that we went to together. And I knew he was upstairs playing with his friends, but I was like, be on time. And he wasn't. So that did set me off as a dad, right? As a father, you ask your kid to do something, he didn't do it. But I didn't have to go and be much of a, I'm going to say a jerk that it was on the show. So if Cole is watching, I want to apologize to him on the show officially. And that's, we're going to kind of get into a couple things as well over here. So I always value people's opinions, but my opinions also are my own, and I have a right to them. But I also understand when people say, "Well, Glenn, you're kind of a," I guess I don't always see myself as that, a leader in the community. I don't know if that's true or not, but people say that you got to be a little more careful with what you say and what you do. Hey, Mike Ewan, I appreciate you stopping in. I do. I do. Because sometimes I do go off on the rails, especially if I'm really passionate about things. If I'm really passionate about something, sometimes I have a really hard time going back on rails. And that's why I want to go into this next thing right here, because I've said for a long time that I'm going to let something go, but sometimes it just triggers me and it come back. And that's human, right? When something triggers you, you're going to do it. So I want to bring something up real quick over here. I'm going to pull up the screen. And that's why I want to thank the let's post it over here. Dude, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I gotta find it now. Oh, where'd it go? The Arcade Insiders. So I want you guys to watch this clip from Arcade Insiders because I took it to heart and it made me think. So let's pull this up over here. Oh, all right, no sound. See, again, I am. Let's try this. I'm definitely human. Here we go. Let's try that again.
Like I was watching like Glenn on Friday
Better?
and was pretty much like anyone who likes Iconic is a shithead. And it's either you like FU or you go home or whatever. It's like, well, I don't even understand that. Like it's, you got a good product. This guy's got a good product. These people got good products. Like, why is it you got to pick a team? Like, you can like all of it. Like, I don't understand the whole divide. Like, like, I don't get it. I'm not, I never watched lives up until like the past maybe year and a half. Cause the first time I turned on the live, I'm like, what the hell is this shit? Talking like,
I think that's what
I
Paul
watched-
and I say after our show every single week. What the hell is this shit?
Yeah, what we just
What
what
do we
happened?
do?
Yeah, then we
But
got the
like
next
whatever
one.
happened in the past to cause these people not to like each other, just get over it, man. You guys are in your 50s, man. Like
Yeah.
move on
Oh,
already. Like I
wow.
don't even
50s.
understand
Come
that shit.
on.
See,
So,
Well,
like Glenn,
personally,
I
I'm not going to buy it. So
yeah, it's just such a bad. I think it's such a bad look to where you get on a show and you like knock everybody who likes. I mean, Glenn seems like a nice enough guy, but on his show Friday, he knocked every single channel that talked about Iconic. Like they're all bullshit channels. Like they talk about the same shit, all of them. It's like,
Well, they do.
well, because they're not talking about you.
Well,
It's
I like
just
they
I don't
talked about.
understand the whole mentality on that stuff. Like everybody's putting out good products. Like I like John D. I love that Alpha. I think it looks great. I can't wait to see it. And I'm sure I can teach Mode a thing or two on how to.
So like I said, I always, everyone's entitled to their opinions, and I always listen, or I try to. I mean, but if I'm off the rails, I get it. I'm not. But B. Kirby brought up a lot of good points, and in hindsight, hindsight's always 20/20, right? And I have definitely tried. I have tried and tried and tried, and I do better days than others. I get things behind, and I try and move on. But certain things you triggered and you go off the rails. So I appreciate B. Kirby and the Arcade Insiders for talking about it because it made me really think. And I had some people reach out to me too. A lot of good friends reaching out to us. Glenn, you kind of did go off the rails a little bit on that. I'm like, you know what? At first I was like, no, man, it's my opinion. But as I started really thinking about it, he was right. I did kind of throw everyone else under the bus. I did. I did trash Iconic when I said I wasn't going to do that. And so it's all true. So I'm taking complete accountability for that. I did that. But there are some other things you said that I want to jump in as well. So be fair and fair. So he's right. I did kind of go off the rails and I threw everyone under the bus. Now, and you're totally listen. You were totally right, and you're right, and I'm agreeing with you. So it's good. But sometimes Glenn does go off the rails. I do, and there's no one reeling me in right now. I have no co-host. So and I appreciate it. So I just want to kind of talk about some points that you did make about it. Starting off with Iconic and all the channels that only were doing Iconic and they were shilling. It's their channel, right? So I'm the person who says it's a free country. They have the right to their own opinion. So I should keep my mouth shut about that. But I bled it out. It was my opinion. I felt like there's a lot of the same thing. Like a lot of times it was every week, nothing to report, but they're still talking about it. And again, I guess it's exciting for people. It's not exciting for me for a number of reasons. Not that I'm saying Necklace is a bad product. It's just not exciting for me. And the reason it's not exciting for me is because I'm always trying to fight for you guys. That's one of the reasons I think I lose and go off the rails a lot of times is because I am so adamant and passionate that I know they could do better. I think Basic Fun can do better. I think everyone could do better out there, myself included. And when people tell me stuff, we go back and we go back and try and fix it all the time. In fact, for the Poly-Cade, they asked for something. That's a good idea. And we made a change for them for one of the products. I'm not going to say what it is, but we made a change for them. Well, I a little bit because everyone's entitled to their opinion. So if someone's watching a stream about Iconic and John D and those things, you know what? Who the hell am I to tell them not to? That's just as bad as me telling people, everyone has a right to their opinion, and I'm not giving them their opinion. So I have to say that in that particular case, I was dead wrong, and I'm apologizing to John D, to Iconic Arcade, and to all the other YouTube channels because I was wrong. I was wrong, and one of the things I'm trying to grow about myself is I am trying to be better about those type of things. Because there was a time where I really wasn't, and I was very angry over a lot of things. We know that history, and it takes time to get over it. But once in a while, like anything, it comes back. But enough on that. I want to go on to the next thing that B. Kirby and they were talking about over there. So one of the things he had said was, about the why isn't it coming up here? What is going on? There we go. One of the things was says, he was saying, go F you or go home. Well, that is part of my marketing for it. I'm going to bring this over here. So, that's what this is over here. Is your home arcade GRS quality? If not, F you. F you. It's the all-new GRS Build-A-Cade F you. Now, it goes beyond that. Go F you or go home. I was looking a lot, and I was a very, very big fan of the Neo Geo, okay? So when I'm saying go F you or go home, I'm talking about stuff like this. I'm going to pull this up over here. And let's see if it opens up prop. Of course not. Bring it over here. And we'll zoom in on that. So this is how the ads were for the Neo Geo. It's very low res. But this is what I'm talking about. Neo Geo was like bigger, badder. If not, the dog's going to bite your ass. You're going to attack. No mercy. And that's what the FU is. The FU is coming into the market to show everyone this is what you guys deserve. You deserve this kind of quality. And anyone charging anywhere around that price point should be doing that. I understand licensing. I don't have that. I get that. But I still think they could do it a little bit better. I know what my margins are, and that's how I'm able to do what I'm doing. And still, the tariffs and the memory prices and everything else, we're scraping it by. But I know it could be done. Now, of course, large companies don't care about the end user. It's a product. I get it. But I'm not going to stop fighting for it. That's my mission. My mission is to fight for the community, for you guys, to make sure you get the best. So in addition to that, these were ads that Neo Geo put out there. You need a set of balls to play one of these. So FU is like the Neo Geo 90s of marketing. Look at this one here. This was always my favorite. Maybe you guys do. Was, this one right here. Hey, remember when he couldn't keep his hands off me? And he's boinking the Neo Geo. Go. So that's what I was kind of getting at with that. And so I'm not going to harp on that anymore. I just wanted to let you know that's where I was going with the go FU or go home. And another thing you said, and I agree and don't agree, and was, people don't have to take sides. And I think human nature always takes sides. And I'm going to show you guys some examples of how marketing and things went with people. People absolutely take sides. So I'm going to show you something here from 1986. This is a Ford and Chevy commercial.
In the past, you saw a big Ford 4x4 pickup carry a Chevy pickup up this monster mountain of boulders. But now we're going to top ourselves by carrying a Chevy and towing a Dodge pickup up the same mountain. Because this year, Ford has the most powerful lineup of V8 engines, gas and diesel, of any pickup. And only Ford has independent front suspension for ground-grabbing traction. No wonder they're America's best-selling full-size pickups. The best-built American trucks are built for tough.
Now, obviously, that's got nothing to do with the gaming industry. That was a Ford commercial, but I was just showing you that there are people who love Fords, and they will not buy a Chevy. There's people like Dodge who won't buy a Ford or Chevy. You know, Ford, found fixed or repair daily, found the road dead. But there are people who like Fords. My family was a Ford family. We were also originally a Dodge family, having a couple of Chevys. But people will go for a brand and stick with it. Now, let me show you something else here that was definitely from the 80s, if I can find it, because I have too many things over here. Where did it go? Oh, my God. Well, I'll take this one first. It wasn't what I was going to start with, but here's another proof. Nintendo and
Sega
Sega.
Genesis has blast processing. Super Nintendo doesn't. So what's blast processing do? And what if you don't have blast processing?
But let's go back. Let's go back to when it really started. Atari and Intellivision. You were back in the 80s. You were an Atari guy, or you were in television, and that's what was on the playground. So people absolutely do take sides.
When it comes to space games, nobody compares to Atari.
Excuse me. Have you compared them to Intellivision?
Intellivision?
Sure, they've got great space games, like Intellivision Space Battle.
I didn't know.
And now there's Space Armada and the incredible Astro Smash.
I didn't know.
Here, compare for yourself. Intellivision Space Games from Mattel Electronics. Once you compare, you'll know.
And even Coleco was in that as well. If I can find it, my God, I really need to get my eyes checked and get some glasses here. Here we go.
While Atari keeps trying to sell you new systems, like the 5200, with ColecoVision you only need one system, because ColecoVision expands to give you a Super Action controller set with Super Action Baseball, a driving module with turbo, an expansion module to play all Atari 2600 games, and only ColecoVision plugs into the Atom module to become the complete Atom computer system. So if you don't want to keep buying new systems, there's only one system to buy, ColecoVision. Sorry, Atari.
So that's where I was kind of going with that one. I do understand, Pete Kirby, your point as well. But Mets versus Yankees, Coke versus Pepsi. I have so many commercials. I don't keep showing anymore. But people like a brand. That's what they go with. So I do think that there are some people who don't care, for sure, absolutely. But I do think people also take sides. You know, some people love Star Wars. Some people like Star Trek. I think both are a dead brand at this point, but I used to like Star Wars and Star Trek. I probably was more of a actually Battlestar Galactica guy myself back in the day. Oh, Cammie's here. Hello, Cammie. So, Cammie, always glad to see you here. And I think I already told you, you're all set with the FU for the contest. So there is the Amiga programming contest this year, and well, there's two prizes. They're going to be giving away a 1/6 scale Build-A-Cade and a full-size FU to the winner of Amiga Jam 26. And they're going to skin the machine and the artwork of the game, and then have the game running on the FU and the 1/6 scale Build-A-Cade. So that is awesome, and I can't wait for that to happen because I'm excited to see who wins that contest. The Amiga to this very day is still it's funny how it's still relevant and still moving on and in progress. So I know that Commodore is back. You know, Commodore is back, but I want to see a new Amiga coming out of it at some point. It could be FPGA. I think at this stage of the game, that's probably the only way you could do it. But I would definitely love to see the Amigas come back. You know what? I actually was watching. Oh my God, so many different videos I've been watching lately. Oh lordy, lordy. Well, in any case, there's an Amiga Pi, so you can now download an image for Raspberry Pi 5, I believe, and it'll have the Amiga and mods and games all over on that machine. But there's also an x86 version. So I took an old computer laptop and I have Amiga Pi or Amy Pi or Pi Amy running on that, and it looks pretty cool. What's going on over here? Oh, Sean. Okay, so I think that's pretty damn cool. Do like I do like SPCs because you can take. Oh, James. Oh, what's got going on there, James? Let's see what's going on over here. Liking one doesn't mean has to hate them. No, and that's what I'm saying. So I was off the rails, James. Where were you when I was going off the rails? You could have reined me in. But you're right. Competition is good, and there are people different like both people. Some people won't. There are people like I only drink Coke, man. I ain't gonna touch Pepsi, but I will drink Mountain Dew. So it is a Pepsi product. So I understand what you're saying. I went off the rails that day. You know, I took a medication. I'm better now. Right? How's that? Yeah. See if I can find the link to it. Let me see if I can find the link to that. Pi. Do. I think this is it right here. Raspberry Pi powered Amiga. Yeah, this is it. So this is something you can put the link down if you guys want to see it. So this will bring it over here. Bring this up. So there's no reason not to like the damn Amiga. The Amiga, unfortunately, was robbed of its whole history, unfortunately, because of Commodore. But this here, just load an SD card up. I think it's like you need at least a 32 gigabyte SD card, but it will boot right up into Linux and into a Windows environment. It's got all demos on there, music files on there, games on there, applications on there, web browser on there. Everything's already in there. But they also do make an x86 version as well. But I put it down in the chat. It's in the chats over there. If you want to take a look at that, I think it's pretty well worth it. Did a real nice job with it. You'd have to get your Amiga ROMs. So you need an Amiga 1200 ROM and a specific one. It's in the README file. But once you get that, you should all set to go. With XRcade Viper. So again, it's all set. It's set and ready to go. It's just up to XRcade to make the announcement and offer it. It's going to be offered on their site. I don't think it's going to be offered on our site. You'll be able to purchase it directly through XRcade. So I'm not sure when they're going to be ready to do that, but we have the Vipers. It's all set to go. In fact, we have a couple of updates coming to Arcade. A couple of emulators I asked me put in there that they're working on. A couple of bug fixes, including the wave share screen. The 4-inch screen now works properly with the Viper. Dude, you have to do this. You did not have. I would have brought this up anyway. Yeah, that's the thing I want to talk about too. Is I don't on my channel. I don't ask for people to pay for private chats. I don't ask people to send me monthly fees on my channel. I don't do any of that stuff. Keep the money and just watch the show. I'm happy with that. And save the money for your kids and family. Take them out pizza, stuff like that. But since you did send the super chat, let me read what you did put here. Glenn, I bought many of your products and I love them. I backed the FU, but also backed Wonderland, which is fine. G.I. Joel and Iconic. So G.I. Joel and I have to work on something together. We've talked about it. We haven't done anything yet, but we're going to be working together. I love all you guys' products. I wasn't around this community to know the past. And again, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I jumped the shark on that episode. I did. I got my balls twisted on probably something completely irrelevant. Again, I was even not so nice to Cole on the show either. So I appreciate that 100%. And Messiah, thank you, but I appreciate it as well. Being one of the things again about being human is we do make mistakes. The being an adult part is when you can say, you know what, you're right. And a few of my friends came to me even this morning, and they're like, Glenn, I'm like, you know what, bullshit, no. And then I letting it sink in. It's not letting the emotions take over. Just starting to really think about it. And like, you know what? Yes. And is there room for everybody? Yes. Now, am I going to buy the product? No. Do I think my product is the best product? Absolutely. No one's going to make a product out there and think someone makes a better product than you. I will stand behind my product, and I have. But people like Iconic, they like Street Fighter, they want to do that stuff. I'm not anyone to tell you not to buy it. I'm simply saying when you buy it, they should make sure you get the most bang for your buck. And I'm never going to change that. I'm cheap as far as what I want you guys to pay, but I want you guys to get the best quality for it. And that's something I just won't apologize for in any way, shape, or form. And that's also true. The difference between those car companies that are billionaires killing each other, which is true, But people do follow the product. Some generations, family generations, they started with Ford, they started with Chevy, and they will disown you if you bought a competing product, let alone buy a Korean car. But that's somehow people are. I pre-ordered one myself for my 11-year-old nephew. So there we go. Boom. That's right. The Fonz and Glenn jumped the shark. Absolutely. And you know what? That's half of my charm. Half of my charm is Glenn going to go off the rails at some point. But you know what? That's the passion I have for it. I have the passion for the community, and I want to defend you guys. I do. It is what it is. What's this right here? We are consumers. Buy what you like. This is such a great stamp, and that's absolutely true. And I should be, but I still have my opinion. I'm within my right to express my opinion, but I also do know maybe I express it sometimes too far. I do, but that's my charm. That's my charm. Messiah, again, dude, you have to. I would have read it anyway. You don't have to do that, but I appreciate it. No one should use your brand to attack another individual. No one should be baited into that. Your product stand on its own merits. And you know what? And you're right. You're right. You're right. And that's what this part of the show was all about. So I have to give you one, my friend. Let's see. I would have gave Blue away. So who are we going to give you today? Let's give you some. Let's give you some Cylons.
By your command, imperious leader.
So I do appreciate that, Messiah, and you're right. We have Jabba's Game Hut. Happy Friday, all. I'll stay out the chat. I've been on vodka and Coke. Well, you know, that's been me on a lot of shows too. And tonight, I just had my Coke. I don't drink a Pepsi. I just had a Coke tonight. But it is what it is. You know, people make mistakes, and all you could do is own up to them and apologize and hopefully move forward and move on. If people still want to be mad at me or upset at me, I get it. But I think everyone's entitled to an opinion, but that means I'm entitled to one as well. What? Oh man, I used hobby hands. Do I have to ban you? What's wrong with you? No, they are not the same. One is delicious and good for you, and one is swill. I'm sorry, it is. Unless you talk about Mountain Dew, in which case that'll change my mind. But okay, so if you like it, that's fine. But they most certainly do not taste the same. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk about. So we are now working with Poly-Cade, which that was kind of shown out today, and I'm very happy that the Star Wars flight yoke and the enhancer kit, the Tron joystick, the push-pull spinner, and some other things are going to be offered through Poly-Cade. The Poly-Cade machine, like I said, it's not for me. The machine is not for me. I think the Poly-Cade is used a lot more for modern games, but you can still play retro games on it. I'm not a modern gamer. I'm not. I have an Xbox 360 that I only played Halo on, and it's too many buttons. It's too many. Once you get up to 3 buttons, I am just gonna lose the game. But I know a lot of people do like that, and you're so right. You amused to death. One, you're right. But sometimes you have those hard days. You have those hard days, hard weeks, and the past couple of weeks during the day it was been hard. I was working right up until not long ago. It's okay to deal with it, and sometimes you can deal with it better than others. And I don't sleep very well. I haven't slept very well for years. I have sleep apnea, but I haven't used the machine in 20 years. But the machine looks nice on the shelf. Isn't that scary that it is? Oh, that's what I want to talk about too. Thanks for bringing that up, Bill. So, I have a PS1, a PlayStation, original PlayStation. I got on like launch week, and I have a PS2 with like no games on it. And I picked this up right here. This was about $30 on Amazon. So it is a SD to PSX. And actually, I have two. I got this one in the black, and I have a white one coming. And it's got an OLED screen in here. And what this is going to do, this is an open source project. And of course, you can save memory games on it, but you will be able to load um, ISOs over the memory card. So if you don't want to mod chip your machine, and my original PlayStation does have a mod chip in it, but still you have to burn discs. With this, you can play the games right off the SD card. Now, my understanding is right now, full motion video may not be ideal on a PS1, a PlayStation original, or a PS2 Slim. The PS2 Fat, I guess the full motion video works better. Maybe the USB port's a little bit different. But this is, I'm excited to try this thing out because I have some items coming in that I have to do reviews on that will need a PlayStation. I don't have a lot of PlayStation 2 games. I have, I think, like 0. But I have PlayStation 1 games. I'm a huge Tekken fan, Battle Arena to Shinden. So it's funny. I'm not a big fighter guy. I like Mortal Kombat, but Tekken, I just love friggin' Tekken a lot. And you can see on my center screen there, I have all those Build-A-Cades. I don't know if I could, what screen is that? I got to take a look real quick here. That is, this one's 6, 7. So let me see if I can do this here. So you can see I got the Battle Zone, I got the Burger Time, I have the Zaxxon, I have, the Mortal Kombats, and I have Miss Pac-Man's, all the ones here. So my next one, I'm going to do two next ones. So one I've been talking about for a long time. You can see all the way on the left, the steering wheel and the pedals. So I have I want a turbo and a couple of driving games. So that's a 4-pedal for gas, brake, gear up, gear down on all the pedals. But I also have a 3 for just gas, brake, and clutch. For what I use for like turbo. But I'm going to make the world's smallest working light gun game. I'm not going to say what game it's going to be. But I've done it once before. I already showed a video on Build-A-Cade, I think over 2 years ago, or just about 2 years ago, using a Sinden light gun on the GRS regular 4.7-inch screen. But I'm going to use a 4-inch wave share screen, and I'm going to make a light gun game, but I will say a pedal will be involved. So it probably really narrows down what game that's going to be. Blue actually came down before, but I knew I was going to be talking a lot about my my shenanigans last time. So Blue will be back for sure next week, and treat him up a lot. So Blue will be back next week, for sure. So I think that's really everything I wanted to cover tonight. So what's this right here? Oop. Cal 64. I respect your opinion, Glenn, but I prefer Pepsi over Coke, which is totally fine. A lot of people do. A lot of people prefer Pepsi and don't like Coke at all. However, I will drink Coke if Pepsi is not available. And you know what? I will too. I mean, I'm half joking. If there's Pepsi around, I just really do prefer Coke over Pepsi. But I wish I didn't because I can't. It's like my crack. I can't give up the Coke. I should. I'm trying to drink more water. I am drinking more water. Of course, I put stuff in the water, like powder stuff. But I am trying to get better with the water. But I have a Coke and I can't kick it. But in a pinch, I will drink Pepsi. But I do like Mountain Dew. So I'm half teasing. A lot of times I say stuff I'm half teasing, but yeah. I mean, it's just sugar and chemicals in it. My son tells me it's all chemicals, and it is. But in 2 weeks, I think it's 2 weeks. Let's see. Where's my calendar here? Come on, calendar. Yeah, so April 2nd, I'm going to have a special guest on the show. And I will have a potential guest on the 28th. It's a Saturday, for a special version of Kickin'it Old Skool to have someone from from England to come on the show to talk a little bit. But I want to get back into that. And, a Kickin'it Old Skool, you never know what's going to happen, which is cool. But I do appreciate you guys here, appreciate all your opinions. And that's one of the things I always say here and in all my Facebook groups. I do not, you can say whatever you like, within reason, not going to murder somebody or, attack kids or anything like that. But people are entitled to their opinion, what they like, they don't like. But that goes the same thing for myself and for you guys. We all have that. The key is being able to be an adult about it. And if we're not being adults about it, which I guess I wasn't in that other show, least come back and say, you know what, you guys are right, and I wanted to apologize. I do want to thank B Kirby again for being on the Arcade Insiders and being shown that clip and being able to talk about it here. It could be. It could be. I don't know. I never get invited to these things, so I don't know. Um, but that's it. So listen, I know we're just coming up on 9 o'clock. I ended a little bit early, I think, tonight because I'm a little bit tired. But I'll give you guys. Oh, there it is. James hates everything. So I guess April 24th through 26th. 100%, 100% made with real sugar. Now, supposedly they're forcing Coke and Pepsi and those products use real sugar anyway, but I have, and I tried their peach Coke. It's a glass bottle, peach Mexican Coke with the sugar in it, and it's good. It is, but you get so used to the cane sugar, it takes a little getting used to the real sugar, I guess. Exactly. I'm always tell people I appreciate your opinion as wrong as it is, and that's what I do say, and then they get mad at me. But absolutely true. Savage. And same to you, B. Kirby. And again, I definitely appreciate you. I appreciate you having your opinions and opening my eyes a little bit to maybe I went a little too far that day, and I do appreciate you. I am trying to do that. That's gonna be kind of on my own. I would like to make a mini Sinden for it, but of course, there's an expense with all that, so I'm going to try and do that on my own and see what we could do with that. But if not, a regular Sinden, or of course, a Sinden Target Pro is really nuts having this big shotgun there, but it works. But a regular Sinden gun would work. But I do want to make a Build-A-Cade light gun game, and I want people to see. And again, I always bring up Michael B because Michael B is always the guy who says he wants the machines to look like the machine, and he always hated the Build-A-Cade for the shape. But we look at the Burger Time, the Zaxxon, the Battle Zone, and all these other machines we're making, Zaxxon, Galaxian, the Build-A-Cade looks damn close to those machines, and that was the point. And no one ever did it, so I had to take it on myself to start making and having Arcade Workshop Gary make these sides to show you that the Build-A-Cade can be anything you want it to be, and that also shows that the FU has the same potential. Does it come with its own artwork? No, that's not what it's supposed to be. These FU and the 1/6 Build-A-Cade is supposed to be something you guys do, and people will say, well, it should come with the artwork. Half the people who buy an Iconic or Arcade 1-Up or Basic Fun reskin it anyway. They gut it and they skin it anyway. So I'm saving you the time of having to skin it and just put the work right on there. That is all. I appreciate you as well. And again, yeah, I think they're going to be numbered. I think they're going to be numbered, and we're toying with them having some signed, maybe. But I will say, I'll end on this. So the wood and everything is all done. We're just putting it together to make sure that the final design of the wood is good. Everything is done. We're just finalizing now the Viper Venom. That's like the last key part right now, which we kind of knew was going to be the case with the memory and all that stuff. So I'm shooting myself for shipping like in June, July. That's my next target date. Unofficial, but that's what I'm shooting for because everything is really done. And once the Viper Venom is set to go, we can start shipping these bad boys over here and start getting them out. And then, like I said, I'm dying to see what people turn them into. At the Buy Stuff store, Joe Sabos, and some other people, 99 Lives Arcade, all those guys making kits for the FU. And I'm dying to see what people do to it. But we're going to be doing a lot more ourselves with the FU. But just take a look at these little Build-A-Cades, and you could definitely make a 1/6 scale because you've bought the FU. You're going to get a 1/6 scale Build-A-Cade along with it. And you can make all these awesome machines. And that's the point. That's the point. But well, I hope somebody does. Again, there is a built-in game downloader. You can get a lot of games in there. But I know that the arcade team is working on ways to make it easier to make, better skinning of arcade. So that'll all be coming. So a lot still to come in 2026 from me, and hopefully not jumping the shark a lot. But let's be honest, Glenn's going to jump the shark once in a while. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys also keeping me honest. It's a two-way street. I try to keep the community honest, but I appreciate when you guys say, Glenn, you're not practicing what you're preaching, and I think we went a little too far. And That's why we're here tonight. I appreciate you, B. Kirby, Arcades Anonymous, Cole as well. I appreciate you too, buddy. I was a little hard on you that day, and I apologize. And I want to leave you guys with a statement that someone said to me. Says, Glenn, tomorrow's never promised. You say it all the time, and he's right. Tomorrow's never promised. Forgive, forget, move on. Tell family and friends you love them. But in between those times, I appreciate you guys, and I'm going to leave you with the Kickin' Old Skool song, and game on.
Gluing on cartridges, hidden reset. 8-bit dreams, can't lose that bet. Floppy disks and arcade lights. Pac-Man, Frogger, we're playing all night. Simpsons in the background, neon in the air. 80s vibes, man, we didn't care. VHS tapes staying up too late. Saturday cartoons, can't wait to escape. Dial-ups humming, we're hacking the code. Back when everything was in upload mode. Atari, Commodore, pixels on screen. Living in the future was more than a dream. It's time to kick it old school. Turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool. We're taking it back, that's how we roll and roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades, TV shows that ruled. You know we're kicking it old school. MTV playing our favorite jams. Moonwalking with MJ, Neon Slam. Ghostbusters, here we're ready to go. Chasing slasher scenes, fears in tow. Back to the future, hop in the DeLorean. Knight Rider cruising, man, there's no ignoring them. Battlestar Galactica, what a ride. Looney Tunes, antics, pure joy inside. Blockbusters ruled, we lined up for days. Video games booted up in the pixelated maze. Movie marathons and popcorn nights. We ruled the screen, living in the lights. It's time to kick it old school. Turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool. We're taking it back, that's how we roll, we roll. It's time to kick it old school, where the beats are fresh, the tech was gold. From arcades to TV shows that ruled. You know we're kicking it old school. Grab your joystick, the game's about to start. A high-score world, now that's an art. We're cruising on hoverboards, living our dream. Old school forever, we're igniting the scene. It's time to kick it old school. Turn the clocks back, break the rules. When the pixels pop and the world was cool. We're taking it back, that's how we roll, we roll. It's time to kick it old school.